You sing the song.
Đây
Go
đâu?
and sing.
Bấm bấm.
Happy birthday to you.
Bà hát cho mình.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Brian.
Chị ơi, chúc mừng sinh nhật em.
dancing.
birthday.
Bấm bấm.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
No, English.
Happy birthday. Can you stick this one again?
Thế anh vui rồi.
Rồi.
À chưa?
Chị Na